This winter, we have a little over 6,000 large squares to rebale, and that's going to hopefully create a little over 3,000 tons or 140,000 small squares. And we're going to do that without any sunshine, not even in the fields. And how do we do that? What you see behind me is our rebaling setup. So if you guys have been long-term fans, you have seen our rebaling setup before in previous years. And while not much has changed about the setup itself, we are in a new barn. So we have a little more room over here, a nice concrete pad, and we'll get after it. We'll show you how it works. Boys are doing some quick maintenance. It's right after lunch, so we blow the knotters off and a couple little things. I'll give you a quick rundown while it's not super loud so you can hopefully hear me a little better. And if you have any questions, just please let me know. We have the Messick's bale converter right here. This is on a small conveyor chain slab, whatever, chain driven, that feeds large squares, these are 3x4s or 3x3s, either one, it's just a little bit taller, into a webbing. This webbing is moving up and down and pulling flakes of the hay up. The flakes go into the upper chamber and they are hit with the reversing auger that we can control the gap between where the flake or the hay will go underneath it or get kicked back. So that's a very important function. Then the flakes that make it through, they're the right size, they drop down here onto these augers. The augers feed this 16-foot T's Easy Converter table that runs right into our 1840 inline baler, and then the inline baler does its thing, makes its bales, and goes right into the bundler. And then the bundler, once it receives a nice healthy dose of 21 bales, ties it off and creates a bundle. So it seems simple when it's not running. It's probably even more simple when you see it running. The key to productivity on this bad boy is the quality and the condition of the hay we're putting through it. The reason we are starting to film after lunch is we have a couple bales left of hay that looks pretty nice, but it is rebaling absolutely horribly. So this is hay that we baled pretty wet this year. It was a really tough spring to make first cutting, really tough spring and summer. So we baled this stuff pretty wet. I think we dried it for close to 30 minutes. It was just wet, okay? So the hay itself is dry, it didn't mold, it didn't discolor, it looks really nice. But what that does when you dry stuff that was super wet, it like cements the flakes together. So I'll show a little bit here of these first couple bales. It just does not want to break up the flakes when it gets to the thrasher up there. So I'll show you what it's like to struggle through hay that's not very tolerable to rebaling, and then we'll get into some nicer hay that we're transitioning to that I believe is going to flow a lot smoother. I don't know yet because we haven't done it. Alrighty, time to fire it up. Clear?
Yep.
All right, this right here controls this conveyor system. So we'll pop that on. You can control the speed of the conveyor right here. You can temporarily speed it up. That's if you set hay on and there's a bit of a gap between the bales, you can quickly lurch it forward and tidy up that gap. And this moves the distance of the reversing auger and the bottom gap. So you can either close your gap or raise it up, depending on conditions. But this is risky because if you gap it too big, you can send large chunks through and plug the baler, which just sucks. So here we have the sticky hay, and it's building up quite a bit up there, not wanting to break apart. It's kind of feeding through, but this is painfully slow. This rate, it's probably not even processing 2 tons an hour, which is not going to work long term. This is the last I'll show of the hay that's sticky. And as you can see, it really is pretty decent hay. There's nothing wrong with it. It just, when it's wet and you dry it, it just doesn't want to break apart. You could knock someone out with one of these slabs. Okay, what seems like an eternity later, we are almost into the good hay. So if you're not already sitting down, you might want to grab a chair, because I don't know if you're going to be able to handle this standing up. You're going to go into serious hay baling, thrashing, rebaling action right now. So step number 1 is he places the large square on the table. And this is a very precise movement. This takes hours behind the seat to master, as you can see. The margin for error here is very small, very small. All day. So what you didn't see beforehand, the bale on the inside, Jake cut 5 of the 6 strings. We don't cut all 6 because the bale without one behind it will blow apart. So he just cut the 5 here. Well, there's the 5th, and he pulls them off. What's going through your head right now? Nothing?
Well, it's nice if your knots are on this side.
So you want me to tell Colton to clip them,
I've
or
been
what?
telling him that to watch out, but because you cut them right at it'd be the second knife.
Yeah.
Or the timing, and then you get to pull them, and you don't kind of like go around. He's working on it. He's doing okay.
Okay. All right, Jake, what's the most important thing about over here?
Probably my feet.
Your feet?
Yeah.
Oh. What about them?
Work boots, I'd say.
Okay, being comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess while we're on the topic of comfort, today's video is partnered with Workwear. And honestly, this is really the perfect day to talk about it. When we're rebaling hay like this, we're on the concrete for hours. Our back feels it, our legs feel it, but really our feet feel it the most of all. And that's why the crew and I are proud to wear Brunt. These boots are built by people who actually understand what long days in agriculture feel like. Every boot is designed with real workers in mind and even named after real workers. And you can tell that attention to detail and understanding of their environments almost immediately. The thing Brunt is known for is they're comfortable straight out of the box. There's no stiff leather, there's no brutal break-in period, there's just real support and that cushioned footbed that keeps you going on days like this when you barely get a chance to sit down. I mean, there's no chairs over here in the rebailer setup. But they're also tough. They're barnyard-resistant leather, slip and oil-resistant soles, heat-resistant options up to 572 degrees, and they're built to handle wherever we walk through, on the farm, in the shop, at the rebaling setup, in a manure pile, wherever. And they're honestly priced for the quality you're getting. So if you're looking for a holiday gift for someone who's hardworking in your life, or even for yourself, Brunts are the ones I'd recommend. They even let you try them on the job, and if you don't love them, just send them back. So use my code on the screen right here and get up to $10 off your first purchase today. I'm wearing the Marin USA style, and honestly, these have been a game changer for me and the crew. So check them out today. All right, this is fresh hay, so we're gonna make any adjustments to it?
Well, I think there's still some old hay up there, so I'm gonna let that run out completely, and then I'll turn the table back on,
I'm hoping people can hear you.
and we'll see where we're going.
Yeah, he said there's still some old hay, so we're gonna wait a second.
Yeah,
We don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
I know. That looks like new hay.
Yeah, it looks like new hay. So to me, that's breaking apart a little bit easier, so we might be able to lift the reversing auger up a pinch. Hopefully.
Maybe speed the table up a little bit.
You gonna walk us through this?
Yeah, I mean, I want to let that run out.
All right, Jake's got a clean slate going on. His chamber up there is empty. So the first thing he's doing is he's speeding this up. So this bale's hitting that webbing in there. As you can see, it's slowed down. Nice, step one. All right, what else now?
So the lower you go here,
Yep.
it's like I guess it's the room that the plate can get down here, like when it strikes it.
The gap underneath the reversing
So
auger.
you don't want to see like a whole plate coming down.
Yeah.
If you do, you're going to put it down some.
Yep.
But then when you put that down some, you want to turn your like table speed down.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to have enough time to spread it all up. You know what I mean? So it'll just build up out there.
So did you change that or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
We'll try and go up a little bit.
All right, he's gonna raise it a pinch.
We'll go to 6.
All right.
We'll see how that is.
So I'm gonna walk everyone through it while you figure out the game plan.
Okay.
All right, so we have the bale here. Each flake is being lifted up, thrashed around up there through the reversing auger. Then we're dropping down on the table here. We're trying to mimic a windrow, obviously. Feed uniform hay into the baler. Right up into the baler, plunge, 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 tie, cycle, everything. It's creating a nice 40 to 45 pound bale that's feeding all the way into the barren here. Right into the reversing, or right into the table. Plucked up. Once you get 21, it actually just tied off right there. That was perfect timing. I didn't plan for that. And you have a nice 21 bale bundle. And it keeps kicking down, and we have our home-built ramp that's seen better days, but it works. It helps to elongate a little bit of the distance, because when the barren is stationary, they don't really want to just drop off the ramp very well. Well, honestly, this new stuff isn't any faster, so we're just destined to go as slow as possible for the whole winter. But as you can see, it is pretty nice. Jake's got it dialed in as best he can, and hopefully from the action cam we have set up right there, you'll be able to get a full picture of what's going on. This is a two-man operation over here at the rebaler setup, but it is not terribly active. The guy on the ground, Jake, Colton, Rob, me, Justin, whoever's over here, we tend to take turns. So one guy runs the morning shift in the loader, and then if we're doing an afternoon shift after lunch, the loader guy will then be on the ground. The loader guy is responsible for obviously putting the large squares on the table, bringing new supply of large squares over to the setup, and then taking the bundles out of the barn, making sure those are put away and stored appropriately. The guy on the ground really has it pretty simple. He's making sure the messics is chewing up and going as fast as it can, given every variable that you're working with. And then we have two main spots where chaff is mostly built up. We have right underneath the knotters of the baler, every time it ties off, you get a pretty good amount of fines that build up right there. You get a little bit as the balers cross, but really not too much. And then under the injector of the barren is where you get most chaff. And this chaff is still pretty long stem. It's not chewed up, it's not fine. So I'll show Jake pulling that out, and we'll run it to the front of the baler, and we'll run that chaff back through. This chaff underneath this whole run here and underneath the knotter system, we'll pull out, bring to the middle of the floor, and Colton will push it into a pile that we're selling to a cattle farmer who puts it in his grindings. This stuff is not quite as nice. You occasionally get a buildup of the twine in them, and it's real chewed up material, so you don't really want to put that back through the plate. But as far as the overall quality of the bale, it really does make pretty nice uniform looking bales. These are about 32-inch bales, and they look pretty nice. We'll pull one out and cut it open. Now before I pull one out, I want to discuss something. The typical complaint about rebaled hay is that it doesn't flake very well. Now, because we are connoisseurs of all things quality hay, we have started using a system that has really helped with the flakeability of the bales. I try to be really honest with you guys. This is not something I really expressly want to share with you on YouTube. So I'm going to show you the flakes, but I'm not going to show you why they're a lot nicer than anyone else is doing it. So just know that. Let's take a bale at random. Jake, you got your knife? All right, show them the flakes. All right, can you pick a flake up? Beautiful. Shake it a little bit. Not bad. There you go. One more. Pretty nice. So before we started the secret ingredient, we'll call it, you wouldn't even be able to pick a flake up. You kind of cut open the strings of the bale and it would fall apart, and it didn't really even have flakes. It was just compressed hay between twine. So that has really eased the transition from our field-made bales to our rebale bales for our customers. The finished product of the bundles is pretty nice. They are fairly uniform. You really couldn't tell these are rebale just looking at them. There's maybe a little more less uniformity and scruff occasionally at times on the side, but it's really not that noticeable. And it doesn't really matter. I mean, as long as the hay's quality, people are pretty happy with it. It's not dusty, it's still clean, it's got good color, decent maturity. That's what people are looking for. Alrighty, we'll wait for Colton to get one more bundle, and I will follow him over to permanent storage of the rebale bales. Here we go. As you can see, Jake likes to set up little obstacles for Colton. He left his pitchfork hanging out. That's the gap back there we're talking about. So it's really some type of great balancing act between a gap where you let enough through that it feeds it, but it's not too big of chunks where it plugs the baler, and then also the speed of the table that's feeding it, so you're kind of keeping up but not creating a giant round bale up there. It's not a perfect science. It's not a science by any means. You change it constantly. It's a very active programming. What's going through your head right now?
We got to shut it all down and unjam it.
Yeah, and unjam it, right. And it does jam.
It does.
Oh yeah, it jams. It's not a perfect job. It's not a perfect job, and I've sort of been hinting at this for quite some time. We are really trying to move away from rebaling. Just got to be patient with certain things. A lot of things take time. So this job has kept our customers in supply of the type of hay that they need and the format they need for, golly, going on maybe this is our sixth season of rebaling, and we've done anywhere from 40,000 to 100,000 each year rebaling. This year I don't want to do that much, but we do have the potential of doing about 140. So if our other process doesn't get up and running soon, we probably will have to do that. It is what it is. The one thing that's nice is it keeps the employees busy on productive hours. Jake, Colton, Rob, Justin, we can all get in here and run these shifts. Justin has plenty to do with maintenance throughout the winter. I mean, there's a lot he can work on. He stays very busy. This keeps Jake and Colton busy. And right now it's keeping Rob on the road in the semi, hauling in hay from other neighboring farms. So it really keeps us firing on all cylinders. So there's the current rebale pile of first cutting. Colton did a nice job pulling it down, and then he is pulling from this section of 3x4s over here. And what you'll notice, these are all conveniently stacked the same way that they're going on to the rebaler table, which is really nice because we don't have to do any flipping, because this is the same way that they come out of the dryer. So we're pretty much learning to handle large squares this way, as opposed to what conventionally people do is stack them string side down. Right now we're looking at the strings. This is good, we have our first issue. So we have it wired up when the Baron has an issue that these lights flash. And it usually just means something didn't feed through, we got jammed up. So I will stop these from coming through and give Colton a chance to diagnose the problem back there. We just got a broken bale, looks like. Yeah. Yep, I think you're good. Didn't feed right, all set. Nice. All right, we'll do two things before we end the video. Jake, let's scale one and show them how we keep weights. All right, let's take it over there and cut it open. Nice, okay. Nice, okay. There you go. Look at that. Because we were goofing around, look what happened. That was your job. What were you doing? Oh, the joys of rebaling. All right, give us a like, comment, subscribe, because this is going to be hard to clean up. See you guys later. I keep saying the video's over, but I keep thinking of things I should mention. This is just Timothy orchard grass first cutting that we're rebaling. We really don't rebale any alfalfa products. We just do everything that's pure grass. With alfalfa, it chews it up too much and you get a bunch of leaf shatter, and it really ruins the whole point of alfalfa, which is leaf retention and high quality feed. Grass, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't change the overall quality of it too much. And it's really not that dusty in here. There's days occasionally where the guys will wear a mask, but for the most part, it's not too bad. You can see. It's actually dustier higher up. And it all depends on the hay too. This is nice, clean hay, not dusty, so we're good to go. And the exhaust fan helps quite a bit. The majority of the dust is right here over the baler, and that fan sucks it out, keeps the rest of the area nice. Say goodbye.
What?
Say goodbye.
Goodbye.